What's up, guys? It's Sean Korea from Team Doo Destined here, bringing to you another deck profile. This time around, we have a Doo guest with us, Mr. Brian Lopez. He played in the, what was it, the Eggman's
The Eggman
pre-Ultimate Cup?
primitive, like yeah, pre-Ultimate Cup window box thing. It was a really long name. I don't even remember all of it.
Yeah, yeah, and you did pretty well. You went X1, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I got fourth place. I went X and one. I lost. What do you call it? The last round there was three undefeated. I lost against the guy that won, and the down pair tied. So
yeah, that's actually an absolute tragedy. Damn, you hate to see
yeah,
it. But hey, don't let that take away from your performance because there's like
yeah,
a good amount of people there at like 50 something. So
yeah. It was like 54 people.
yeah, it was a good show out. Good job on your end, and thanks for taking your time today. What
Yeah,
did you end up
Charge
playing?
complete.
MACHINEDRAMON.
MACHINEDRAMON the classic. Lopez is the black goat of the team. So it is no surprise that he did well with this deck. Do you want to go ahead and start with your eggs?
It's I'm pretty sure almost every MACHINEDRAMON deck either runs the Dorymons or the Pagus.
The Pagus? Yeah, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, because the Pagu's self-explanatory. The Dorymons are nice because both the new BT11 MACHINEDRAMON and Chaosdramon can add cards to sources,
Oh yeah, that
so
makes sense. Yep.
you'll consistently trigger the effect.
Yeah, true. That makes a lot of sense. Does that come up like all the time, or like, I'm assuming you're playing the level 6 like ramp up and raising type machine, huh?
Yeah, so like the red base is good for draw power and stuff, but the
Uh,
problem is like you essentially have to hard play a MACHINEDRAMON.
yeah, yeah, that's true.
Or I guess you could also do Chaos Dramon, but like the Chaos Dramon just hurts because you don't get memory back, so it's just a 12 cost hard play.
Yeah,
And then so building the stack is easier and it gives you more sources for more protections most of the time.
yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. That's sound logic. What you got for your threes?
Four Harugamons, three Shikuris, because Steed Digivolution and Security ruins a lot of decks. Dorumon for the memory gain, so you can essentially make like the Chaos Dramon essentially Digivolve for three.
Okay, yeah,
Or no,
that's
yeah,
crazy.
Chaos Dramon Digivolve for three, or if you wanted to, the BT11 MACHINEDRAMON for two.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Yeah,
Yeah, and then Jazzamon. I don't even know how to pronounce that name. Which,
Jazzamon? Question mark?
yeah, it's like you think it's a question mark, and I saw somebody who was it? I think it was Lychee that I first saw use. He didn't use Jazzermon. He used the level four, but I realized I prefer
The level
using
three.
the level three
Yeah, open
because
up
I'm
your
replacing
forethought.
it. Yeah, a lot of people are running Karamon, the old
Oh
promo
yeah. Uh huh.
Karamon that's
Yep.
like plus 1,000 your turn or opponent's turn.
Uh huh.
But I like Jazzermon more because his inherited, like, you don't care about his actual effect because you're not running Hina in this deck. Like, why
Yeah.
would you?
Yeah. Yeah.
But the inherited is nice because it's all turns. If this Digimon has an on play effect, it gains 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
And both the BT11 MACHINEDRAMON and the Chaos Dramon are on play effects.
Oh yeah, yeah, that makes sense.
So you never want to digivolve into the EX1 MACHINEDRAMON because that doesn't yeah,
Doesn't
you
really
don't
do
you don't get to
anything.
build the giant stack. So like
Yeah.
yeah, so like every time you're going to digivolve into the level six, you'll benefit from having it in sources. So
Yeah, makes sense. I like it. I like it.
yeah,
So we got ten rookies, huh?
yeah, cause you don't. It's nice against certain decks. You don't even really care about building a stack. Like there
Yeah.
there is some decks where
Yeah,
like you
that's
can
true.
just hard play and then like they can't do anything to you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. What you got for your level fours?
Oh, I got three Guardramon. It's
Mm-hmm.
always nice having a blocker, and then Herited's just crazy good draw power. Namemon, if you're bricking and you don't have a level 3, hard play a level 4 for a play cost of 3, and then you have like 16. But you have a crazy number of level 5, so most often than not, you'll just Digivolve the next turn.
Yeah, yeah, makes sense.
And then the other two are Jazzadramon, and same thing as the level 3. It has the same inherited, so you can just keep on building it up. Since you can't use red cards, you actually lost
A lot
your
of the
main
base.
DP boost.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Makes
So
sense.
it's actually a lot harder to now swing through things just because like hitting the DP thresholds is actually a lot bigger struggle.
Okay. Yeah. No, that makes a lot more sense because I was sitting here wondering why you would need so much, but yeah,
Yeah, because
I get that.
like in the old well with the non-ultimate cup rules you can just run. There's a red level 5 from like BT6, and then there's also the BT1 Metal Greymon,
Uh huh. Yeah.
and those give you like unconditional DP boosts,
Mhm.
so you're good to go. But there's some black cards that give you DP boost, but they all have a stipulation, which you'll see later on. But yeah, so like DP threshold is actually a hard thing to do nowadays with Machine Dramon.
Okay. Well, yeah, Jazzermon can help with that.
Yeah.
Jazzerdmon.
But like I said, like th- and also they're pretty cheap level 4s to drop, like 4 cost, 3
Yeah, that's
cost.
not bad.
Gardemont's the worst for 5, but
Yeah,
even
that's
then
not that's not bad either.
that's not terrible.
Are you good with 6 level 4s, or would you increase them at all?
I guess you would, just because it would make your life a bit easier, but the problem is if you do that, you lose level 5s, and like that's the core of your deck, so
Yeah, yeah, that's
you
true.
kind of have to
That's
do
true.
with what you got.
Yeah, that's true. All right, speaking of level 5s, what you got for us?
Oh god, that's a lot.
Yeah.
I run what, 16, I think? It's 16 or 15, I don't remember. So we'll just do the two ofs first. So I do two starter deck Mega Dramons. I know some people like running the EX1 Andromon more because
Hmm.
it's the same thing. They both have inherited blocker,
Blocker, yep.
but the Andromon specifies it has to be a machine or a cyborg. No, I think it has to be just a machine. So there's been instances where you can get de-digivolved and all of a sudden you lose your blocker, but with Mega Dramon,
It's
you'll
blocker
keep
no
the
matter what.
blocker. Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
Though the Andromon is nice for the Digivolution effect to search for a level 6 machine, so it's kind of like balances. But there's so many other cards for searching and stuff and draw power that I don't really worry about it.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And two Metal Greymon from BT8, cause attacking unsuspended shit is just busted.
Yeah, so good.
And then
So
like if
good.
you ever want to de-digivolve someone, that's also just busted.
Yeah, it comes out
This card's
nowhere.
just really strong. I don't know why they thought this was a good idea.
Yeah, no, definitely a stupid card. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Speaking of stupid cards, the BT11 Metal Tyrannomon is
Oh
also
my god, I
just
hate that card.
I love this card. Like
Yeah.
this was the best support
That
Machine
card
Dramon
cost
got.
me a Nats run, man. Actually, no,
Oh my
ultimate
god, it's
connection
so
did.
dumb.
Yeah.
So I guess for people that don't know, its main effect is both a digivolving and on-play effect, so it's
Mhm.
great for this deck. So like,
Okay, yeah.
because if you don't have a level 4, you can just drop it or digivolve off it if need be. And basically, you suspend a Digimon for every black or green tamer you have. There's
Mhm.
only black tamers in this deck, obviously, but yeah. And then one of them can't unsuspend during their next unsuspend phase, which can really help you out in situations where you're struggling.
Yeah, where you just need that little bit of control.
And you just need a little bit more to stall.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and then like, but that's not even why you run it. You run it because of the inherited, which is crazy. Because it's when an opponent's Digimon is deleted in battle, you trash the top of their security.
Yeah.
So you pair that with the Metal Greymon, and you're just constantly withering this person down, and you don't have to even be scared about security anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so good.
And then it's also an all turns effect. So if you have a redirect or a blocker,
Yep.
you just get to trash their stuff for free.
Yeah, yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's just a dumb card. Uh, yeah, I guess we can do this now. And then two Metal Tyrannomons,
Mhm.
from EX1. They're they give reboot as their inherited, so it's always nice. So like you can have a blocker, swing, reboot, yada yada. And then its Digivolution effect is also nice because it uh searches for a machine
Hmm.
and then trashes the rest of the cards. So you're building up your trash pretty quickly, which is always nice 'cause for whenever you need to slam MACHINEDRAMON or something. And then two Metal Mames, their Digivolution same from EX1, same Digivolution effect as Metal Tyranno. I think all the level 5 cyborgs from EX1
The
essentially have the
X1s, yeah.
same thing because that's when MACHINEDRAMON came out. And then it's inherited is when attacking it, delete opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 5 or less. So it's really nice, especially in this Ultimate Cup meta where Bloom Lord's pretty strong.
Yeah, you can
Uh,
pop a Sunflow mod with that.
yeah. What do you call it? Armor Purge.
Hmm.
I played an Armor Purge, and it was nice just
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
deleting
Hmm.
all the level 3s constantly.
Nice,
And
I
then
like it.
like even outside Ultimate Cup, like this card can do work if you're playing stuff like against like Ragnalord and not Ragnalord, Jesmon
Hmm.
or
I'll
like
pop a
Crossheart
decoy
where
or
you're just
something.
constantly deleting everything.
Yeah, all the small bodies. Yep.
Yeah, so because sometimes just those small bodies at the beginning just nickel and diming your security is just a pain.
Yeah.
And then Andromon EX1 gives blocker as inherited and then just searches for machine. Just you know, pretty good card. Helps you
Hmm.
search, gives you blocker. So, like I was saying, for the DP boost, since we lost the red cards that gave the DP boost, I had to find an alternate version. So, and
Okay.
I honestly forgot this card existed until I saw a Lychee's deck list, and I was like, oh right, this was a thing that I forgot about, because who uses this card? But it's
What does
a
it do?
Black Mach Galgamon.
Black
It
Monk
has
Agumon.
reboot, which
Hmm.
is whatever, but then it's inherited on your turn. It's on your turn if this Digimon has reboot, gain 2000 DP.
Okay. Hmm.
So like to pair with the Metal Tyrannomons, it gives you a DP boost to hit those DP thresholds if you need to fight
Oh
decks.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense. Hmm.
if they have like a level 6 out and you don't have to DP for it, it's a nice little boost.
Yeah, that's a cute little synergy. I like that.
Yeah, and then Gigadramon, uh, it has jamming, so it's nice to swing if you're still trying to search for like your level 6.
Hmm.
Don't gotta worry about it dying unless you hit an option. And then its inherited is reboot, and similar to between the Star Deck Megadramon and the Andromon,
Hmm.
this one has unconditional reboot, where the Metal Tyrannum, all the cards from EX1 require it to be a machine.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's just an extra reboot, and because 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 with the red version, you didn't need to worry about having reboot necessarily, because you have Analog Man,
Hmm.
um, and the red cards gave you the DP boost either with unconditionally. But now that you need reboot to get the 2000 DP from Mach Galgamon, you need more cards that give you reboot.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So yeah,
Just so that your cards can continue to have their effects. Yeah.
yeah. And then BT9 Megadramon,
Hmm.
and that's just it's a card that can delete Tamers for free is just busted. Like, it's not as bad as the BT8 Metal Greymon, but it's
Uh-huh.
still a really strong card.
Yeah, and its when attacking is pretty good too
Yeah,
for
it's
those tiny
so
tamers.
I guess for people that don't know, both its main effect and inherited effect are the same. And it's well, for its main effect, it's when digivolving, and its inherited is when attacking. But it's delete a Digimon or Tamer with a play cost of 3 or less.
Hmm.
So like if you're ever having to deal with a hybrid player, or I guess a purple player running like Mimis or Karis
Hmm.
or something crazy like that, just delete it. Get rid of it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's
Or like another thing for like armor purge, you can if you have like that in Metal Mame, I think the way the interaction would work is you choose both to pop a target. One would trigger armor purge, and the other one would delete it I think that would be how it works, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think that's how the works.
Well,
So
you would
like,
choose
yeah,
your
you can.
effects, and then they would have to like counter. So yeah.
Yeah, so it's just it's pretty strong. And then Cyberdramon from EX3, and same thing. It's just a DP boost
Hmm.
where it's it's a it's a bit trickier to use because it's an alternative effect, but it requires you to have a suspended tamer.
That happens
But
kind of often in the deck, though. Don't you have like analog lieutenant
uh,
or analog man?
it does on your opponent's turn, but not
Hmm.
necessarily on your turn,
Oh, okay.
depending on what tamers you have. So you don't really get the DP boost your turn most of the time, but like most people won't expect it
Oh, gotcha.
because they're like suspended tamer. They're like, all right, he doesn't have a suspended tamer, but then they'll swing. I'll suspend to analog man to redirect, and then all of a sudden it triggers the DP boost.
Yeah, it makes sense. That's really there
So
just to boost your guy during an opponent's
yeah, and
turn.
it's
Yeah.
also like something. It's like people don't know or like don't think things through completely or don't realize how this deck completely works. Like it
Hmm.
can surprise them.
Yeah.
And then the last level 5 is the EX2 Cyberdramon, which I'm not sure how I feel about this card completely yet, because
Hmm.
it hasn't really come up, but I'm running it because I think there'll be a good amount of Machinedramon in the Ultimate Cups,
Okay. Yeah, I can see it.
because its effect is when attacking, if you have 2 Black Tamers in play, de-digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon.
Is that the inherited or
And that's
the
the
base
inherited.
effect? Oh, that's the inherited. That's pretty good.
Yeah, so like if you have this and you have 2 Tamers out, like
Yeah.
you have a free de-digivolution every turn, which can get really dirty.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, for sure. Especially if like, you need to swing over or something, and like let's say they're just bigger.
Yeah, yeah, like
Yeah, that could
that's the
definitely
other
come
thing
up.
it applies for. Like if you play against like Grandis or like All Force and they have
Yeah.
like crazy DP boost, well just de-digivolve it.
Yeah. And that's definitely just good for the mirror, for sure,
Yeah.
100%. Dang. What do you got for your sixes? Machine Dramon.
Yes.
Duh.
I accidentally mixed this up out of order, but it's okay. So I use I run 3 of the BT11 Machinedramon
Okay.
because it's an on-play and Digivolution effect, and it's basically reveal the top 5 cards, grab an analog man,
Hmm.
and then it kind of gets tricky because you can pick up either a cyborg or a machine. So you
Okay.
have to choose: do you need the level 5? Do you need the cyborg for whatever reason, or should you get the machine?
Hmm.
Because the cards will get trashed, so you're not getting them back. So it can be really tough to decide at times.
Just gotta know your ratios.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then for the sideboard, you can either add it to your hand or add it to the bottom of the Digivolution stack.
Okay. Hmm.
So depending on what the situation calls for, if you need something to save you, you can just tuck it underneath and go for it.
Hmm.
So after that, it's 3 Chaosdramon, because it also has the on play when digivolving, and that's why the Jazzermons and the Jazzermons exist, just because like you're always going to get these off.
Hmm.
And Chaosdramon's just disgusting. You can add 3 sources cyborgs from trash or hand, as long as they're. Apparently, I have to specify this because, as most people probably know by now, what happened at Nationals where somebody was running blue cyborgs in their deck. But yeah, so just for everyone, Machinedramon only does red black cyborgs. So if you ever see someone play a different color that's not red or black, call a judge.
Does it
Immediately
say?
call a
Wait,
judge.
it says on that. It says on the card red or black or what?
Charge
Yeah, it
complete.
specifies red or black level 5 cyborg.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know how you
So
missed that then.
so I don't know if you missed it or not, but there was a thing at Nationals. I can't remember if it was here or Europe, but like someone was playing Machinedramon and they were
With
running some
blues.
blue cyborg.
Uh.
And somebody took a picture of the stat of the Machinedramon stack and put it on the internet, and everybody was just
Oh
questioning
man.
this guy.
Yikes. Alright, that's when I retired Digimon right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's all turns effect. If it would be deleted or returned to hand or deck, you can trash two of the cyborgs to keep it in play. You just have something stuck on the field that they just have to deal with because it just won't die.
Yeah, it's just protection on protection.
Which,
It's so
yeah,
nice. Yeah.
because like usually you'll have at least like 3 or 4 level cyborgs in the stack, so
Yeah.
like you have to essentially try kill it 3 different times. Oh, and for each one you put underneath, you de-digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon by 1. But if you put 3 sources, it de-digivolves 3.
Yeah, oh, that's so good.
So yeah, it also yeah. So they can have a level 6. You'll de-digivolve it with 3. You'll put a metal mame underneath. You'll swing and you'll delete the guy.
Yeah, oh, that's so good. Yep.
Yeah, it just gets really crazy.
Hmm.
And then 3 of the EX1 Machinedramon, which I would hope everyone knows what this card does by now, but
Hmm.
a lot of people don't. So it basically just has an on-play effect where you can add 5 red or black level 5 cyborgs to its sources, and then for each one you add, you gain a memory. So at max value, which you should have considering you have so much draw power and so much level 5s,
Hmm.
it's essentially a level 6 on play for a play cost of 7,
Yeah, that's pretty good.
which is pretty good on its own. But then it can't be DP reduced, which isn't so bad in the current meta,
Hmm.
even with the non-Ultimate Cup rules. But whenever yellow becomes prominent again, this guy, yellow players hate this guy because
Yeah.
like I remember playing this in like BT7 and I just laughed at yellow hybrids because I was like, you're never gonna kill this.
Yeah.
And then same thing as Chaos Dramon, if it would be deleted, bounce 2 level 5s, keep it alive. Or it can be bounced though. So that's the weird thing about MachineDramon and Chaos Dramon. One can be DP reduced and it can't be bounced, but the other one is the opposite.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like it's if you're ever in a weird situation where you don't know where your opponent knows what to do, you might be a little bit stuck. But if you know what's going on, then like you know which one to play and
Yeah,
you're
just got
all
to play
good.
accordingly. Yep.
Yeah. So but yeah, that's the level 6s. That's some people like to run more Chaos Dramons than Machine Dramons, and I understand why, because uh in this format, Chaos Dramon seems to be the better card.
Hmm.
But I think an even split just works out better. The one thing I forgot to mention about Chaos Dramon is that it can Digivolve on top of the Machine Dramon for a play cost of 1.
Hmm.
So if you ever need a de-Digivolve or you need more inheriteds to pull something off, you can just Digivolve it for 1. So like imagine an EX1 Machine Dramon with 5 sources, you Digivolve into Chaos Dramon for 1 and add 3 more.
Yeah, it's just so good.
It's like you're never going to delete that, and then you're just going to be a monster.
Yeah, so sticky.
Yeah. And then for Tamers, I just run 4 analog man.
Yep, you got to. So good.
Yeah, the card is just too good in this deck not to. So
Hmm.
it's basically it is made for Machine Dramon. So
Yeah.
for the people that don't know, the simple effect is at the start of the main phase, trash a level 5 cyborg to gain a memory, draw a card. So
Hmm.
it's not a memory setter, so but if you have multiple of these in play, like even if they try to choke you out,
It's
you usually have
impossible.
so many level
Yeah.
5s in hand, it's impossible to.
Yeah.
And if they give you more than one memory and you have multiple analog man and can trigger all of their effects, you got like 5 memory, you drew like 3 cards and
Popping
you can
off.
do
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then on opponent's turn, you can suspend it to redirect to a level 6 machine.
Hmm.
So like even if like for example Grandis suspends you,
Uh-huh.
you still get the redirect. So
Yeah,
they still
redirect
have to
doesn't
figure out
matter.
how to get through you.
Yeah, and they can't pierce. So.
Yeah, so like cuz before Analog Man like I would play like the Grandis matchup and it would always be painful cuz they would just I would have
Suspend
this
you.
giant machine drum on out. I was like I can't he can't get through the game, and he would just be like, suspend, and I'm just like, oh well, he's just going to ignore this thing and just go
Just
through my
win
security.
anyway. Yeah, that's annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then some people like to run some other stuff, mainly Kazu,
Mm-hmm.
which is nice, but like
Not
I
needed.
I think I think it's not worth it. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's better just to have more level 5s. After that is DG Dimension, which is just a great card when they're trying to swarm you,
Mm-hmm.
because it de-digivolves 1 up to 3 of your opponent's Digimon, and then delete up to 3 of them with a play cost of 6 or less.
Oh man, yeah, that's so good. That's
So
really good
like,
against Bloom for sure.
yeah, or like stuff like Armor Purge.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was playing an Armor Purge person in one round, and like I just played this card, and I just wiped their
Scoop.
board.
Yeah.
It's like
Yes.
they all were level 4s, but it doesn't matter when you de-digivolve.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
I
rough.
just removed the Armor Purge.
Oh, that's a rough one. Yep.
Yeah. And then one Ultimate Flare.
Mm-hmm.
Most people should know what an Ultimate Flare does by now.
Yep. So good.
Every black deck has run it for like the past year.
Yeah.
But if you don't know, it de-digivolves 3 and then deletes all Digimon with a play cost of 3 or less. And then for the final 3 cards, it's of course Attack of the Heavy Mobile Digimon, because
Card's
it's
nasty.
also just an absurd card.
Yeah. Yeah. So good.
So all your Digimon for the turn that are level 6 machines gain Rush, and if they have a Digivolution source, they gain Blitz.
Yep. So basically, they can attack the same turn.
Yeah, and since all the Machinedramons have an on plate that can give them a source, they'll basically always trigger the Blitz.
Yeah.
And then you can build a giant stack, and then you can just swing, and then so like it can get you out of a lot of situations
Mm-hmm.
depending on what their board state is against you.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can go into Chaos Dramon, de-digivolve 3, and then if they have some level 6 that you're having trouble dealing with.
Yeah. And you
Or
can
if they
still swing
go,
into them too.
yeah,
Yeah.
you can do Metal Grade to swing into them. You
Yeah.
can do Metal Mames and Mega Dramon if you need to pop multiple things.
Uh-huh.
You can do Blocker Reboot if you just need some defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just crazy. It gets really crazy when you realize with the BT11 Machinedramon, because now you can theoretically, if you have an analog man on the board, you can hard play the BT11 Machinedramon,
Mm-hmm.
find the level 5, put it underneath, swing, and if it dies, you can just play an EX1 Machinedramon and swing, because
Oh yeah, true.
the effect is still in place.
Yeah, yeah, I guess that's true. You can do that. Yep.
Yeah, so you can do some pretty nutty stuff. And then its security is you can trash a cyborg or machine from your hand and delete a opponent's Digimon with equal or lesser play cost.
Hmm.
So it's also a removal option if you ever find it in security.
What were your matchups?
The first round was all force,
Mm-hmm.
which is a wacky matchup because it's basically who has the most. Do you have more Tamers in analog mans on the field than they do in their hand?
Mm-hmm.
Because of the swing
The
restand
redirecting.
mechanic.
Yeah.
Yeah, the arenas, like it gets really funny. I think the second guy was Armor Purge,
Mm-hmm.
and he's pretty easy because once you get your level 6 out and you have a
It's
couple of
impossible.
analog man,
Yeah.
like they'll never get through that.
Yeah, they can't do that. Mm-mm.
Yeah, like maybe they'll be able to bounce it. Because I think he did bounce one of my Machinedramons because he had Mega Def.
Mm-hmm.
But at that point, you just skip going into Machinedramon and
do
just
it
go
again.
straight into
Yeah.
Chaos Dramon and
Yeah.
you're good. I played a Grandis.
Uh-huh. Oh, what the heck?
Yeah, so apparently Grandis is still running around, but they use... I
Low
don't even know
force.
which Grandis is this.
Hmm. That's
Yeah,
stinky.
but yeah, it's like... But it's like, the problem is, like, they can get the DP boost and everything, but like, and they can suspend you. But now that Analog Man exists, as long as you have them on the board, you're just go a redirect.
Yeah.
The last one, I don't remember.
That's okay. Who's your last matchup?
Yeah, the last one was Dark Nightmon,
Okay. Oh yeah.
which
Damn.
was, at least I thought it was pretty spicy.
No, that sounds good.
Yeah, I guess it would be good this format, but like the other thing is like, I guess it depends on your locals, but like, nobody. I know of like one person that used to run Dark Knightmon,
Mm-hmm. Guess Dark
and I never
Nightmon.
played against them, so I had no idea what that deck did.
You're just like spawning bodies and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then, like, I think I
Mm-hmm.
could have had it if I had a better understanding of the deck, but
Mm-hmm.
like, I didn't know and I misplayed, and then that
Yeah.
was game. But I think it would be a similar situation if you get your level 6 out and you have a couple of analog man, they'll never be able to go to game for you
Yeah.
against you.
Yeah. Yeah. I would
Though
imagine for sure.
that deck does have D Digivolution, so
Ooh. Yeah. That's harder.
they do have a way out. But yeah, that can be a rough matchup if D Digivolving even by one ruins what your deck wants to do.
Yeah. I can
And
see how Digivolve can be a really good
yeah,
counter to Machine Dramon.
or just speed. If you can outpace Machinedramon before they can have the stuff in hand, if they
To
can't
set up
draw what they
trash, all that stuff.
need or
Yeah.
they don't have their level 6 yet, you can go through them pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So it would be interesting to see like if you ever had to play against like a rookie rush or something, how this deck would do.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. But hey, Lopez, thanks for taking your time out of your day to show everybody your Machine Dramon deck profile. Good job on the tournament, and hope you have a good one, man.
Thank you.
All right,
Talk to
sweet.
you later.